Well, hello and welcome. This is Joe from iRepair Electronics, and today I'm going to look at this Spectre model X40, which isn't really doing anything. You plug it in, turn it on, and does nothing. Just no blinks, no nothing. Just failing to turn on. Seems like a typical capacitor problem. But we'll see. Well, the model number on this is model number X40, and that's the whole model number. And if you want, we'll get in a little tighter on this. There is an actual part number. That's X405BV dash FHD 3HF 02224 or whatever. So that's the but here, see, it says model number X40. Apparently Spectre didn't think they were going to make too many of these things, and turns out they didn't. So anyway, let's pop it open and see what's going on inside. Okay, so power supply is out, and here it is. So now just check around a few things here. Now I'm in diode mode, so whatever your voltmeter happens to be, just switch it over to the diode check and check the big diodes first, because usually they can be a problem if they're shorted. Typically these are high-speed switching diodes, so that's why there's such a low voltage drop. It's a 0.155 voltage forward voltage drop. So these are okay. This, on the other hand, this diode right here is not okay, or possibly the component that surrounds it is no good. But this diode is, well, it's called D10. Push it through. There it goes. That was quick. Make it easy. So here's the diode out of the circuit. Let's see what happens. What do you think? Yeah, it's a short. Flip it over. Check the other direction. Dead short. Shorted diodes never work. They can read low, but they should never read shorted. Okay. So MBR 5200 is the number on this diode. This is the spec sheet, the PDF from one of the many companies that make it. So if we look here, the main stuff to look at right here, reverse voltage. Minus 62 200 volts, forward current 5 amps. And looking online, I couldn't find anyone selling that particular number, the MBR 5200. Or I did find a couple vendors on eBay, but they were in China, and seemed to want a little bit too much money for it. So went over here to DigiKey. And as you can see, there are other replacements for it. So I found this one, and if you notice here, SR5200-TP, it's the same thing. So if you go down here to the specs, here's the voltage, DC reverse, maximum DC reverse, 200 volts, 5 amps. It's exactly the same. And suspiciously, SR5200 as opposed to MBR5200. So this is basically telling you it's the same diode, just a slightly different name. So just showing you this because sometimes you can't always find the exact part going by the part number. Sometimes you really do need to start looking at the specs. And down here on the PDF, there's more detailed specs for this MBR 5200 over here. Most of them you don't have to pay too much attention to, but the main ones they usually put right up on the top here, which exactly they did, and this is the main stuff to look for. Again, yeah, and DigiKey, of course, doesn't lay it out exactly the same way you're going to see it in the PDF file. So you just need to know the main characteristics you need to look for. And it is a shoddy diode, or shoddy, however you pronounce it. I never quite figured that one out. But you can see it here in the description. Diode, Schottky, I suppose. 5 amps, 200. And this is the package design D0-201AD. That was also in the PDF here. D0-201AD. So we're getting the same package design. And that's it. So, and here's the price breakdown. 64 cents for one. $5.36 for 10. And I do believe DigiKey has no minimum orders. You do have to pay for shipping, of course, but shipping's pretty good on with this company. So I will be placing my order with DigiKey, and I'll get the diode in, and we'll put it in, and hopefully this thing will come to life. Okay, so got in the new diodes for this. From DigiKey, and they have very quick delivery, just a few days, and had them in. Very clear indication as to which is cathode here. And I gotta make my bend a little closer. That's what I get for cutting one end too short. Didn't bend it. There we go. And a little bend in there. There we go. In between the time I was working on this last, and now I took a look and didn't see any other problems in the circuitry. Nothing else seems shorted. As far as the capacitors go, I did some in-circuit checks. Didn't check the ESR yet, but I'm gonna let that slide for now. I didn't see anything bulging or the readings. I did check in circuit with my ohm meter. Seemed normal with the size of the capacitors, and so we'll try it out. Okay, so Justin finished installing the circuit board. And we're going to plug this in. Take the phone out. So, there it is, sitting pretty. And, let's see. So, there's the light indicator to the front panel, which is red. So, that's a good sign because it wasn't doing that before. It was just dead. There's a power button here. Ooh, turns blue. Let's see if it catches the input. I have a HDMI input going in, and there it is. So that's the test disc, the SpongeBob movie. Let's hit play. Okay, well, we can't see it too well because it's sitting on the table, but it is working. I don't see anything strange. Good enough. That seems to be it, and did not have to touch one capacitor. So there you go, fellas. It's not always the capacitors that go bad with a TV. Just that diode. So I'll do my usual routine of letting it sit and run for a few hours and make sure everything's working right. But that's it. Again, so thanks for watching. This is Joe from Ira Repair Electronics.